Doom Eternal is a game all about using your massive arsenal to brutally eviscerate armies of incoming demons. But today, we're not going to do that. I just got done watching Season 2 of Vinland Saga, and I'm in the mood to spread peace. So today, we're going to attempt to beat Doom Eternal as a pacifist. Here are the rules for this challenge. If you do not have to kill an enemy to progress, you must not kill it. And just for good measure, we're going to be taking away the Doomslayer's killing machines. No guns are allowed for this run. The combat shotgun, assault rifle, plasma rifle, super shotgun, ballista, chain gun, BFG, and unmaker are all banned. With that being said, let's begin our run. The first area poses one of the biggest challenges in this whole run. We don't have access to any alternate weapons until after this door. And since I'm not allowing any major glitches in this run, there is no way to skip this fight. What would normally be a 5-second encounter is increased to nearly 45 minutes, since the damage dealt by the straight punch in this game is abysmal. After meleeing the final zombie to death and running past the 3 zombies in the following hall, we can finally get our first taste of an actual weapon. The chainsaw's intended mechanic is to refill the player's ammo, and refills every 20 seconds automatically, but can take additional gas canisters as ammo pickups. For fodder demons, only 1 bar of the chainsaw is needed for the kill, but for heavy demons, 3 full fuel canisters are needed for the kill. Upon going into the next mandatory arena, I realized that this was going to take a long time. Every encounter went something like this. Dodge for 20 seconds while waiting for the chainsaw to recharge, kill a fodder demon, and then repeat. After checking in with the boys and calmly subduing the priest, shh, because we're pacifists, we can reach the next mandatory arena and our first problem in this run.
So guys, we did it. We reached a...
The Arachnotron is the first heavy demon introduced in the game, and 3 canisters were needed to kill the one in this arena. And since there was only 1 canister in this arena and only 1 bar refills, there was no way to pass this Arachnotron. You know what that means. After going the whole way back from loading the checkpoint and making sure to save the canister in the first arena, we can finally chainsaw the Arachnotron and pick up our assault rifle that we can't use. The next arena seemed even more impossible than the last. Since we burned all 3 of our chainsaw canisters on the Arachnotron in the last arena, I had no idea what to do when a second one showed up here. I saw that demons were fighting each other, and thought that if I just let them fight it out, one would eventually die. But after researching ways I could beat this arena, I found that demons fighting one another don't actually damage each other. I also tried to move one of the explosive barrels into the Arachnotron and then push it off the edge, but all of these were not working. When I was just about ready to give up on the challenge, the Arachnotron randomly despawned and I was allowed to pass.
Take a moment to look around you. Witness the view.
Nice. Near the end of the level, we are finally blessed with another weapon. In this train car, for some reason, we can pick up the frag grenade. The grenade is a huge bonus to our arsenal, automatically refilling after 30 seconds, meaning we can now time out any demon, no matter how tanky they are. With our new weapon in hand, we storm the next arena and complete the first level.
How can this be? No man can pass through the gate. This stops nothing.
Going into Mission 2, we have 2 weapons to add to our arsenal, and will be the last upgrades we get for a while. After running past the first Hell Knight, we acquired the Blood Punch. The Blood Punch finally makes our puny 1 damage hands worth something, doing significant shockwave damage at the expense of needing to refill by glory killing 2 fodder demons. Yet we can easily combo this with our next amazing weapon, the Dash. You might be thinking that the dash is just for mobility, but it actually does a slight bit of damage. And with the exact combo of 2 melee dash bashes and then 1 punch, just enough damage is done to put a fodder demon into a glory kill state. This can then be done twice in order to refill the blood punch meter quickly, allowing for a faster method of attack than waiting 30 seconds for grenades and chainsaw refills. After upgrading our arsenal, we kneel to King Navik, blast some robot swords, and meet the betrayer.
You gonna finally get that work done. Man, what's up, man? Ain't gonna ban his laptop? You went old school on me, man.
Do some parkour and finish the level. Mission 3, Cultist Base, is next. Wait, Cultist? You don't mean that. No. No. I originally thought this mission might be a roadblock because of the green buttons you need to shoot to open some of the doors. What are you aiming at? But a well-placed ice bomb usually works for any of these. In this level, we get introduced to the Mancubus,
Let me guess, Tiny, a small salad?
which is a tanky demon that takes forever to kill, even with the blood punch farming. Surely this will be the only demon like this, and no other demons will take 10 plus minutes to kill. This mission also really showed what this challenge is going to be like, with it not being very difficult but taking forever. Thankfully, because of the cue ball demons and various traps around the mission, it didn't take too long. I'm also not going to consider the Revenant section cheating, since it's completely unskippable and isn't using any of our guns. With our super shotgun obtained and a lot of blood punching, puzzle solving, and frag grenading later, Cultist Base is complete.
Priest has stopped moving. I will lock in signal now.
After taking a quick train ride, we arrive at the Doom Hunter base. Originally going into this mission, I was a bit worried about the boss. Before I could even get to the boss, the actual mission proved difficult, causing the first batch of deaths in the run. Going through the arena sections were normal, until arriving at this platforming section. The intended way of completing the section is to jump from the 3 temporary coffin platforms, then shoot the green target to summon a platform and run across to the next checkpoint. But since we didn't have any guns, I couldn't find a way to trigger this button. I tried standing on top of the coffins, jumping from different ones, and dashing to shoot the grenade to try and get it to go as far as possible, but none of these seemed to work. Yet at some random point after I had failed so many times that I was about to die, I decided to load the checkpoint to save health, which resulted in me completely skipping the section. My only guess is that I had jumped far enough to trigger the most recent checkpoint, and then by loading the section I could skip to that checkpoint. The actual Doom Hunter boss wasn't that difficult. With the combination of freeze, bomb, and blood punch, I could take out a significant portion of the Doom Hunter's health. And I can get the blood punch back fairly quickly by using the dash melee farming method with the many fodder demons scattered in the arena.
Useless machine!
After taking out one Doom Hunter, the second fight against 2 was no different. It wasn't that hard considering they had half the health of the first one. With the Doom Hunter base complete, we can now calmly subdue the next priest and move on to the Ark complex.
Does he not seek enhanced power? Gifts to aid him in his noble conquest, perhaps in return for my...
Oh no, he's good. He just needs some water. He'll be fine. Because the Super Gore Nest doesn't introduce any new enemies or anything new to our arsenal, I'm not going to go over it by arena. Instead, just enjoy this montage of the no-gun Doomslayer completing the first skill check in the game. The first half of the Ark Complex isn't anything we haven't seen before, with the exception of the new Pain Elemental and Cyber Mancubus enemies. The Cyber Mancubus is just a tankier version of the Mancubus, but is weak to blood punches, making them no problem for us. Pain Elementals aren't too hard on their own, but when spammed with a bunch of other heavy enemies like later in the game, they can get really annoying. They do a ton of damage, and they're hard to hit with grenades, making blood punch farming the only real way to deal with them. Also, this Hell Knight in the Purple Waste section, oh my god, this ended like 80% of my Ultra Nightmare runs. I know it's not related to here, but I hate this area. Anyway, after blasting both of the tentacles with the conveniently placed turrets, we can enter Samuel Hayden's outpost.
My god, Dr. Hayden was convinced that you would come here for this, eventually.
Attention, emergency protocols have been activated. Please exit the facility now.
We don't know how to access his main cortex.
I'm not
It's all
getting caught no damn
alien.
bombees.
We couldn't figure it out. We have to prepare for his careful extraction. We were given specific orders.
We scare off the hose and are then faced with the coldest enemy in the game. I just want to add how cool the Marauder is. He comes in with the shoes, belt, red eyes, and you know we're not going to flee the fight, turning right around to face him. Shit is so cool. After the crazy tough cutscene, the actual fight isn't too hard. The Marauder is hard to hit with the frag grenades, but thanks to the infinitely respawning fodder demons in the arena, we can farm enough blood punches to take him out.
I can no longer locate him.
The final priest is hiding in Sydney. You can't just shoot a hole into the surface of Mars.
Oh my god, he said the thing. Mars' core is packed with dense areas filled with heavy and now super heavy demons. Since in this level you're supposed to be using the BFG on most of these huge clusters of enemies, it can take really long for us to get through these massive hordes. On top of the new enemy density, we are now faced with the new class of super heavy demons, the first one being the Baron of Hell, sporting 7,000 HP, almost 50% more than the Marauder. Doom Hunters also now appear as normal enemies, usually at the ends of large encounters. I will add that this level has the most enjoyable parkour and some of the craziest visuals out of the entire game.
Prepare for turbulence.
Damn, ain't that beautiful.
Think one man can stop the armies of hell?
Yes, I will protect them all.
I'm serious, that guy doesn't scare me. I'd like to see him try.
But the next mission in Sentinel Prime is when the game really starts to get difficult. This mission features some lore cutscenes.
Gotcha. You.
No, it's not what he meant. It's not what he meant. It's not what he meant. Oh my god, that is vile. That is. But only one real objective: the Gladiator boss. Much like the Marauder fight, which now appears normal enemies, by the way. The first phase of the Gladiator boss involves waiting for the right moment to attack with grenades or blood punch, then using the surrounding fodder demons to farm the blood punch back. I also noticed that in this fight, the blood punch's range is deceptively far. I had blood punched this fodder demon by accident, but it managed to stagger the boss. The second phase of the Gladiator fight proved more difficult, as I got hit a lot more trying to farm for blood punches back. With the second phase having more health than the first, this fight took a long time. But eventually, after many blood punches and frag grenades, the Gladiator goes down and we can calmly subdue our final priest. I don't even know if I can defend this one. He's asleep.
Stops nothing.
Oh my, he used the gun. He don't use the oh man. Challenge failed. Restart video.
Hooray!
Paris Nabat is the beginning of the endgame, and here we get our last upgrade to our arsenal. But before we can get the one-tap sword, we have to take on a new threat. The Archvile is a nightmare for this challenge, summoning buff demons if left alone for too long. Our usual method of freeze grenade punch doesn't do nearly enough damage to kill him on one rotation, so we're forced to survive nearly 3 full cycles with buff demons to take the Archvile down. Luckily, buffing demons doesn't affect their base health, so we're still able to farm for blood punches. Damn, finally. I was like 3 cycles. We then have to go into the water and make some tricky shots, but the freeze grenade usually gets it done. I also made peace with this predator. No. Sorry to interrupt this awesome video, but I'm editing this now. I can't believe he got caught again. How do you get caught again? This is like the 3rd time. Bro, come on. It was by Gideon and Skeeter too. That is crazy. Anyway, back to the video. I just thought that was worth talking about. I can't believe he got caught. This is still a pacifist challenge, right? Right, guys? Right? Yeah, we're not. Yeah. Now, it's time to get our crucible. The Crucible is a one-shot kill to any demon with the exception of Marauders and Doom Hunters. It's also extremely useful for the upcoming boss fights we have to endure, with it being far and away our best source of damage. Unfortunately for us, the Crucible has very limited ammo and does not refill automatically like the chainsaw, so conserving Crucible ammo is crucial. Shut the fuck up! Necroval has some of the most stunning visuals in the game, coming right off the bat with this Titan crying tears of lava. Literally me. With Crucible in hand, we can now make super heavy encounters a joke. What would normally be a 10-minute encounter is now a one-click kill. The only somewhat annoying part of Necroval 1 and 2 were these eye enemies, since I would need to wait on grenade recharges to be able to hit them. But after freeing our boys at the top of the Necroval tower, the portal is finally open and it's time to head to Urdak. The actual level of Urdak was fine, except for this tyrant encounter, since I was out of Crucible ammo at the time. But the real challenge of the run starts here. The Khan Maker boss fight revolves around constant damage in order to stop her regeneration ability. Now thinking back to our moveset, constant pressure is exactly what we don't have. We rely completely on burst damage. I was also unable to utilize the Maker drone's weakness of headshots since we don't have any guns. They also can't be dash farmed since they release a burst melee attack upon contact, resulting in too much damage trade for the glory kill. I was completely lost in this fight. I had no idea what to do, so for the first time, I had looked online to see if anyone had attempted a similar challenge. I had no idea the Khan Maker could be damaged by the Crucible, and I would have never used it on any of the Urdak enemies if I had known that. I had a choice to either continue the fight and make it more drawn out, or do all of Urdak again without the Crucible to save the ammo. I chose to stay in the fight, and man, this took a long time. Thankfully, we can dash and melee into the Khan Maker, and because it counts as damage, it will stop her regeneration for a bit. But sometimes, it felt like I needed to be on frame-perfect timing to dash into or melee the Khan Maker to keep her health from regenerating. Sometimes, even when she would get into a glory kill state, I would fumble by not being able to farm glory kills and get a blood punch fast enough to end the phase. The winning strategy ended up like this. Use a blood punch on the con maker or hit her with grenades enough till she's almost out of health, and then continuously dash and melee the con maker to keep her from regenerating while farming the maker drones for glory kills. Then, once the blood punch is ready, hit the con maker to end the phase. This is much easier said than done, and almost all of the rages in this challenge came from missing a crucial blood punch in this fight. After nearly 2 hours, I was able to get through the first 4 phases of the con maker, using the crucible to skip the last one. Now we couldn't wait any longer. The longer the icon change, here we come. We would give him quite a bit of time though. After I wasted my crucible ammo on demons and Urdak, I was bent on conserving as much crucible ammo as I could throughout the level. I didn't know that crucible pickups in the Icon of Sin fight infinitely respawned, so I probably made this level way harder than it had to be. But now, it's time for our final challenge.
Now, 2 Titans, as it was written.
The Icon of Sin is the final boss of Doom Eternal. His fight involves destroying the 8 pieces of armor on his body, then going to a separate arena and destroying the flesh of those same 8 pieces. I really had no idea how to damage the Icon. I knew that the Crucible could instantly destroy part of his armor, but he has this strange force field around him that always pushed me back. And even when it looked like I was hitting a piece of his armor, it just seemed to phase right through him. The Icon's chest hitbox seemed to extend past this force field, since I was able to slice both of his chest pieces. I couldn't seem to hit anything else until I fired a grenade that managed to damage him a bit. But these shots needed to be really precise. As I was randomly swinging, attempting to damage his abdomen, he decided to punch the stage, and I then just took out his left arm. This means that anytime he attacks the stage, he leaves his protective force field against the Crucible. I was able to bait out a right hand punch and then take out his right hand this way. Then his left shoulder, left hand, and right shoulder. At this point, I had tried to reach his abdomen with the Crucible, but no matter what attack he did or where I was, the hitboxes never seemed to intersect in the right way. I had to resort to grenades, and eventually, after trick-shotting and banking the right shot, I broke his abdomen and the second phase could begin.
The body is now exposed. Take the portal and finish this fight.
Now, it was time for the second phase, and I couldn't do it. I know, it hurt to be this close, right at the end of the game, last phase of the last boss, but the Icon doesn't do any attacks where he goes remotely close to the stage, and that force field he had earlier seemed to be amplified in this fight. Grenades also couldn't reach him. I had looked online to see if anyone had done this fight with some strategy I didn't know about, but anything that I found involved using guns, and to some extent. And trust me, I had tried for a long time to find some way to get a crucible shot or get a grenade, but I just couldn't. I'm sorry to say it, but this challenge is incomplete. Now, I don't know if this challenge is impossible. I'm not the greatest Doom player on Earth, and I have seen some clips of people damaging parts of his body, but I'm not sure that you can do the entire thing with no guns. With that said though, we made it pretty far, and I hope you enjoyed the video. This was a bit of a hard project to take on since I started in the process of moving, but as always, thank you for watching. Peace.